Hey guys, okay, so this is Sean, and I haven't made a video in a while, so I thought I'd make a video. And today's video is going to be a book review. Yes. So the book I'm going to be reviewing is The Magical Power of the Saints, Invoking hold on. Let me make sure I have the right book in my hand. See, nope, I don't have the right book. So here it is. Magical Power of the Saints, Evocations and Candle Rituals by Reverend Ray Malbrough. This was a very useful book, if you ask me. I'll put a link to the description to get it on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description to get it on Amazon. But it was a really interesting book because it talked a lot about religion, but not in a Christian way. It focused very much on the Santeria and sort of Brujeria, Latin America's use of the saints, and how the saints were Latin America's use of the saints and candle magic with the saints. But it doesn't really dive too deep into that. Some things that I do like about the book is that there's a whole section of the book devoted to Psalms, Bible verses. Another thing I like about the book is that this book doesn't necessarily go against dark magic, and that's something you'll find a lot in Ray Malbrough's book. Malbrough, I don't know how to say his last name. So if I'm butchering his last name and you guys do know how to say it, please don't jump on my neck about it. Ray Malbrough. He also wrote Spells, Charms, and Formulas, and that was another good book. It talked a lot about New Orleans magic, New Orleans voodoo, which is a completely different system of voodoo. It does keep some of the traditional voodoo values, like, you know, there might be a sacrifice here or there, but for the most part, it's mostly working with saints, and it's mostly working with candle rituals too. And it's all about, and New Orleans voodoo is very much related to root work, because now, depending on who you ask, they'll say something different, but if you ask me, root work or hoodoo, which is the more common term for it, because root work is just somebody who knows how to use the herbs and how to make mojos with it. But hoodoo encompasses traditions and such and so forth. But if you ask me, hoodoo sort of draws on that basis, because hoodoo had to take things from many different cultures, and I feel it draws on New Orleans voodoo, considering that hoodoo and New Orleans voodoo both are American, and they both sort of generated in those southern areas, in those same areas, and these traditions were sort of very similar. Anyway, yes, Ray Malbrough is a very good author, in my opinion. He doesn't necessarily say you shouldn't use negative magic. He doesn't necessarily promote it to a point, but he does understand that there's a point where somebody might be getting on your nerves and something has to be done about it. There are a couple of spells in here, generic spells in here, that are crossing rituals, uncrossing rituals, faithful lover rituals. You know, it's very basic, and this book, if you ask me, it has a whole section devoted to Advanced Candle Magic, which I bought. I got my copy of Advanced Candle Magic yesterday. Either yesterday or the day before yesterday. But I think it was yesterday, because today is Saturday. And if you ask me, there's a whole section here devoted to Advanced Candle Magic, and it's just as good as Ray Buckland's Advanced Candle Magic. It talks about how to move the candles. Now, the only difference is it doesn't give diagrams, But I'm pretty sure that if you can read and you have an imagination, you can visualize how this is supposed to look. So, out of this book, The Magical Power of Saints, Evocations, and Candle Magic, I would give it 5 Pinnacles out of 5 because it's very useful, especially if you want to work with saints, and especially if you want to work with New Orleans magic and Bruxidia and such and such. It doesn't really talk about herbal correspondences, but if you want herbal correspondences, you can always buy his book, Charms, Spells, and Formula. And this book is completely based off of his experience with learning and teachers from the South. So it's a very good book. They're both great books. They both get a 10 out of 10. So that's it for this video, guys. And I guess I'll talk to you later. See ya.